Well, a very good morning to you. We are coming to you live from Broadcasting House here in Nairobi. A very good morning from wherever you're joining us. My name is Marie Yambo, and coming up in the news this morning, President William Ruto and Raila Odinga defend the UDA-ODM deal as betrayal claims mounts. Meanwhile, Generation Z or Gen Z reacts to president's charity efforts, but Ruto stands firm on supporting religious institutions. And back after 6 months, our heroes welcome for Wajir MCA Yusuf Ahmed Hussein, and later on in sports, the Junior Starlets return home after their victorious campaign in Uganda. Stay tuned for that and more just coming up in a bit. Mike, I didn't just wade into that particular conversation.
Yes.
Because I think it's more or less like what you were talking about last week, isn't it? When you were talking about polygamy in the modern day and all that. So that is polygamy in the modern day now, Vivian.
Yeah.
Now this one is the polygamy in modern day, but not the one that's the traditional one. Yeah. Yes. So my director said ni kuogopa bibi ndio maana hawawezi kusema. So that is also a factor over there.
Yeah,
so, but remember what happens for those who do it, because it's mostly men. I'm not being biased. You leave the people behind with a lot of problems.
That's true.
You would rather say it now, we deal with it,
yes,
than when people pop up when you're dead, and dead people don't talk.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate for, I mean, in such circumstances, for sure. It's always good to, family is the bedrock of the society. When it's in shambles, then families, I mean, women, children, all of them are affected. And as the Bible tells us, Victor, the man is the head of the family, and so is the head of many other things. So stay tuned for that conversation, definitely with Vivian and Mike. And for me, I'll be taking you through the news, where President William Ruto and opposition leader Raila Odinga have strongly defended themselves against accusations of betrayal following the agreement between their respective parties, the United Democratic Alliance, UDA, and the Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, to work together. Speaking separately, Ruto and Raila said the deal was not meant to serve the interests of any leader, but aimed at helping the country resolve prolonged political, economic, and social challenges. Raila Odinga, who was later in Kisii, faced a cold reception at Gusii Stadium. Let's get the details. The signing of the cooperation agreement between President William Ruto's United Democratic Alliance, UDA, and Raila Odinga's Orange Democratic Movement, ODM, has elicited varied reactions. Those in support of the agreement say it will lay the ground to catalyze development, while those opposing claim it was a betrayal of their supporters. But speaking at a church service in Eldoret, President William Ruto said the agreement would serve the best interest of all Kenyans and not any leader.
Who focuses on the interests of the people, who focuses on the interests of the nation. That is important for us to think about.
Sentiments echoed by Raila in Migori. Both Ruto and Raila concurred that the agreement was for the common good of the nation.
No community, no section of Kenya will be left behind.
Leaders accompanying them rallied Kenyans to look beyond party lines and embrace the opportunity for meaningful change.
We have more that unites us in our country than what divides us.
Nobody lives bitterness, and nobody prospers through bitterness.
A great leader does things that people have not done. Even the things that people are complaining about.
Your Excellency, kazi mmefanya juzi kuunganisha nchi, and we support that effort because we must move together as a country.
Raila, however, encountered a hostile reception at the Gusii Stadium.
Hakikisha Kenya haiwezi rudi nyuma tena.
And President William Ruto says he will not shy away from supporting religious institutions. He urged religious faithful not to be intimidated by those opposed to the building of churches. The president affirmed his position moments after protesters staged demonstrations in Roysambu area in Nairobi to express their dissatisfaction over the donation made to Jesus Winners Ministry Church, forcing police from General Service Unit to man the church. Giberson Maina with more details.
Tension was high at the Jesus Winner Ministry Church in Roysambu on Sunday. This after social media activists mobilized online to stage protests over church donations they deemed controversial. This prompted police from the General Service Unit to man the church. Members who sought anonymity revealed the church planned an early service to evade the protesters who had started to gather at the Roysambu roundabout.
Sisi tumetoka kwa kanisa, tumetoka kuomba kwa sababu tunaamini prophet wetu Mwai.
Leo hata baidhi alikuwa na sifa ya Mungu sana na nimeshukuru Mungu sana. Tena leo baidhi amejikasa sana na sifa ya Mungu baidhi ikamsukia.
The media was barred from accessing the church premises, where some of the Gen Z protesters who had entered were wrapped up and arrested.
Lakini wamenyang'anya watu wa media kamera na kudelete kazi yetu.
Hapana, uko na freedom ya kuchukua. Yule amechukua kamera ya wanahabari awarundizie.
The church pastor Edward Mwai, who left the premises in the morning, urged for their release.
No one was coming to destroy anything. No one was coming to beat up anyone. We just want to be heard. That's all.
But moments later, the protesters made through their threats and staged demonstrations. This quickly turning into chaos as police threw tear gas canisters to disperse the crowd. However, addressing congregants at AIC Fellowship in Eldoret, Wasingishu County, President William Ruto castigated those against church donations.
The pushback from the people who don't believe in God, who don't believe that we should be building churches, who don't believe that we should be supporting the work of God in Kenya. I want to say, as the leader of this nation, by God's grace, that this nation, God will be known, and this nation will be strong, and we will do great exploits in this nation called Kenya.
The president saying he won't be shaken in contributing to church building.
Upon this nation, this rock of Kenya, we are going to build God's church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail.
President William Ruto says Kenya has made significant progress in development during the first half of the Kenya Kwanza administration. He stated that the government has successfully rolled out its programs, recording growth in the agricultural sector and stabilized the economy, promising even greater transformation in the coming years. Speaking when he joined faithful at the AIC Fellowship Annex in Eldoret, Wasingishu, the president assured Kenyans that the country is on the right track. President Ruto also highlighted the progress of economic zones, emphasizing that economic growth has made it possible to allocate more resources for road infrastructure. He further stressed that development and unity go hand in hand, saying a united country will achieve even faster progress.
Agenda for the good of all, according to Isaiah 40.
So, katika ibada hii ya leo, na najua karibu inafikia katikati ya muhula huu wa miaka mitano. Nasema namshukuru Mungu sana. Kilimo imepiga hatua ya kwenda mbele. Uchumi imepiga hatua ya kwenda mbele. In the last 2 years, especially last year, tulipata mahindi nyingi kuliko vile tumepata kwa taifa letu la Kenya any time in the past. Bei yetu ya kahawa ilipanda than any time in the past. Tumevuka bilioni 200 kwa kuuza chai yetu kama taifa la Kenya for the first time in Kenya. Kilimo yetu ya sukari imepanda mpaka mwaka huu. Ile tuliagiza ni kidogo. Tulikuwa tunaagiza na tunasumbuka sana kutafuta mambo ya sukari. Na I want to assure all Kenyans that nobody, no region, no community, no section of Kenya will be left behind. Sote tutatembea kwa pamoja.
With your support, we have been able to produce passports on record time. When you came to office, the demand for passports was 200,000 per year. Right now, after your intervention, we are producing 1 million passports per year. And Kenyans are getting passports record time within 7 days because of your support, Excellency.
Meanwhile, Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka has called on Kenyans to pray for leaders and politicians, saying there was a lot of betrayal in the political sphere. Speaking at the Christian Foundation Fellowship in Nairobi, Kalonzo said the foundation of the nation had been shaken by poor governance and Kenyans need to intercede for their leadership. He, however, expressed confidence that Kenyans will make the right decision during the next general election and regain their country.
When the foundations are shaken, what will the righteous do? Our foundations as a nation are truly shaken. And that is where there is hopelessness. Over 6 million of our young Kenyans going through university and they are not able to get work. And there is desperation at the home front. There's even lack of peace because they go out to the industrial area to look for those jobs and there are none. Foundations get shaken when we can't even take our children to school. When the funding model is not able even to make sure that children from the poor families are able to access higher education. Foundations are truly shaken in Kenya today. When those with payslips have to pay 50% in the form of taxes, and what is available in the form of disposable income to the family is negligible. Foundations truly get shaken. And that is the state of our nation today. And that is why there's need for national repentance. There's betrayal all over. Brother betraying brother. But the very interesting betrayal is that of politicians. Politicians are needy. Please pray for them. I'm one of them.
And Dela Ward member of County Assembly Yusuf Hussein Ahmed, who had been missing for 6 months, is receiving treatment at Nairobi Hospital, where he was rushed to after reuniting with his family. Yusuf was dropped outside his house in Pangani in Nairobi on Saturday night. In a press briefing on Sunday at the Nairobi Hospital, a section of leaders from the northeastern region, led by Mandera County Senator that is, Ali Roba, confirmed that the MCA has been hospitalized. He was allegedly abducted on Friday, the 13th of September last year, along the Enterprise Road in Nairobi's industrial area. A month later, a body was retrieved in Lake Yahud, Wajir County, and was initially believed to be his. However, DNA testing confirmed otherwise.
We hope and pray that he is back in his holistic self without having suffered irreparable damage in terms of his physical well-being. From his physical appearance, it appears that he must have undergone a lot of tormentation. We pray to Almighty God that he will regain his self through proper medical attention.
We have been looking for him. He has come back with to us. He has rejoined with his family. We have nothing much to say, but just to thank Allah for bringing him back. Any other issue will take some time. We will have to find some time to go through so that we come back to tell you more information.
The United Democratic Alliance and Orange Democratic Movement Working Partnership pact signed on Friday by President William Ruto and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga continues to elicit mixed reactions countrywide. In Kilifi County, Governor Gideon Mung'aro said the partnership will see full implementation of the National Dialogue Committee NADCO report. This, as a section of church leaders from the Ukambani region called for the Kamba unity and support for Wiper Democratic Movement leader Kalonzo Musyoka's presidential bid in 2027.
Kilifi County Governor Gideon Mung'aro and Malindi Member of Parliament Amina Mnyanzi have hailed the working agreement between the ruling party and opposition outfit Orange Democratic Movement as important for the sake of peace in the country.
Sisi kama ni baba sign agreement tena bado. Sign tena bado. Mtoto nafsi kwa baba. Kabisa. Mimi ni mtoto wa baba, kwa hivyo pale alipo baba ndipo nilipo mimi.
Raila Amolo Odinga jana akaweka mkataba na serikali kupitia rais wetu William Ruto ili masuala haya yajadiliwe pale ndani. Bei za gharama ya chakula zirudi chini. Tuunde kazi za vijana.
The deal signed on Friday has also been backed by former Gender Cabinet Secretary and current chair of Kenya Roads Board, Aisha Jumwa, who is calling for both parties to ensure women are given priority in government positions. Isiolo County Women Representative in the National Assembly, Mumina Bonaya, has also defended the agreement between UDA and ODM, dismissing claims that it has crippled opposition politics in the country.
Constitution, we have institutions that are tasked with that job of oversighting. We have Senate that is supposed to oversight the county government. We have National Assembly that is oversighting the national government. So more or less, the work of oversighting is happening.
This is a section of the clergy and politicians in Nairobi County expressed mixed feelings, saying the confusion surrounding the Social Health Authority should be resolved.
Kiongozi anapotuambia jambo tunaamini jambo hilo. Na kwa hivyo kwa sababu wamesema tunangojea kuona SHA. Tukienda hospitalini tupate SHA inafanya kazi.
Similar sentiments were expressed by clerics in Kakamega County who are urging Kenyans to be patient.
Na vile wameungana tunatarajia sasa uchumi yetu Kenya inaenda kubadilika.
A section of church leaders in Machakos County are however skeptical of the partnership and are instead calling for Kamba unity and support for one of their own in the next general election.
Wakati kama huu tunawasihi wawe kitu kimoja na waungane na wasupport His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka ili jamii ya Wakamba iheshimiwe.
Finally, a section of Abasuba community elders from Homa Bay County led by their chairman Ochieng Ounga has expressed support for the pact signed between President William Ruto and Raila Odinga, urging politicians to avoid divisive remarks that could destabilize the country.
We as Nyanza people, we are fully behind him and we are asking him to go full throttle in his support to this government.
County governments have been encouraged to introduce programs that will help create jobs for the youth to tackle the unemployment crisis. Speaking in Murang'a County during the graduation ceremony for the third cohort of the Murang'a Youth Service Program, former Chief Justice David Maraga stressed that the youth face the greatest challenges in economic inclusion, hence the need for the devolved units to develop strategies that will help empower them.
Could retired Chief Justice David Maraga recent reemergence in the public sphere actively engaging in discussions on national issues potentially hint at his political ambitions? He was the chief guest at the third graduation of Murang'a Youth Service Program. Maraga kept off speculations on his presidential ambitions come 2027.
Those who are in leadership have to remember that their responsibility lies in strengthening the citizens of Kenya. This is what this program of Murang'a Youth Service aims at doing.
The host, Murang'a County Governor Irungu Kang'ata, hailed the youth service program for enabling the youth to be self-reliant.
We think the multiplier effect will be so huge that at least we will have done some effort in job creation.
Other speakers urged the government to enhance collaboration with international partners to address unemployment. The ceremony saw 5,200 youths graduate from the Murang'a Youth Service Program.
Mnawapeleka kupata mafunzo katika vio vyetu vya kiufundi, and they get certificates from NITA, National Industrial Training Authority. That is a very good thing to equip our youth with the requisite skills.
Kama kila county inaweza kuchukua a lesson from the Murang'a Youth Service Program, I believe this country would be halfway to tackling the unemployment program in Kenya.
Women in engineering have decried the discrimination of their gender in employment opportunities in the industry. Speaking during a dinner event to commemorate International Women's Day, the chairperson of Women in Engineering, Jennifer Gache, emphasized women's capability to deliver good work in the male-dominated field. The event, graced by People's Liberation Party Chair Martha Karua, also saw tens of female engineering students being awarded for their input in achieving sustainable development goals regarding the alleviation of poverty, hunger, and discrimination against women and girls.
Eminent engineers. Tens of women and girls from the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, IEK, converged on Saturday evening to celebrate the journey of women engineers who are facing a myriad of challenges as the world commemorated International Women's Day. People's Liberation Party Chair Martha Karua was the chief guest. Women in Engineering Committee Chairperson Jennifer Gache decried the lack of equity, diversity and inclusion in the engineering field.
The things that we need to do decisively to ensure that we have equal opportunities for all gender. There's opportunity for every female, irrespective of your race, your color, or your stature.
Let us take a moment to appreciate how far we have come. How far we have engineers in key positions in this country, and not just engineers, women engineers, and what difference they make in this country.
First Vice President of the Institution of Engineers of Kenya, Engineer Harrison Keter, urged the government to give a chance to local professionals and grow local innovation amid calls to stop outsourcing foreign experts.
We must stop importing experts from overseas to this country. We must give a chance to the engineers of this country and other professionals of this country and actually this continent.
We have 27,000 engineers registered in the country. That to me is one of the greatest assets that the country has invested in.
Karua also urged engineers to leverage on teamwork, accelerate action and secure their space in policy making.
If engineers are part of the government, of the cabinet, of the high-level decision makers, and we are discussing what to do about our roads, engineers will take the lead. When there is no engineer present, decisions made, you might find them difficult to implement.
She called on students to take up science, technology, and mathematics courses as a way to boost the capacity of women in the industry.
The standards of the engineering practice in the country with a very, very special impact on women. And this particular program encouraged us to award our women engineers.
We have a hackathon competition, we have a projects competition, and our theme for this year is empowering innovation, basically women, girls in STEM leading the technology revolution.
In a bid to appreciate upcoming female engineers, the institution organized competitions among university students pursuing different engineering courses and awarded those who emerged winners. Under this year's International Women's Day theme, Accelerate Action, calls were made to not only focus on empowering the girl child, but also the boy child.
A look at sports, where Kenya Defence Forces KDF defeated Nairobi Prisons in 3 straight sets during the Kenya Volleyball National Women's League, a fourth-leg encounter played at the Nyayo National Stadium. The win was KDF's third in the leg after victories against Young Spikers and Kenya Army.
Nairobi Prisons began brightly as their strong serves and organized backcourt enabled them to take control of the match early on and led 12-7. But KDF, inspired by 16-year-old opposite hitter Milka Kinyi, rallied from behind to take lead for the first time in the set with scores at 19-16. KDF held on to win the first set 25-23. KDF maintained the momentum in the second set and won it 25-17. KDF, who are coached by former Malkia Strikers player Jacqueline Baraza, wrapped up the win as they overwhelmed Nairobi Prisons 25-13 in the third set.
I'm very happy for my girls for winning this match. We had really planned for it and we were very much prepared. I knew we were going to win. My girls were not settled, but later on they relaxed and played their game.
Role yangu ni kama advisor kwa team, kupea team morale, juu wakiona the more nacheza hivyo pia wanapata fight, juu after all nimetoka maternity, so kila mtu anaona huyu hawezi nishinda, lazima niweke bidii.
The win keeps alive hopes of KDF making it to the playoffs, while Nairobi Prisons must win their rescheduled fixtures to revive their chances of featuring in the knockouts.
2 games remaining, and I'm sure you will have the 6 points that will make us go to the playoff brackets. And we'll give it our best at the playoffs.
Elsewhere, Stanbic Aces suffered their 4th loss of the season after going down 55-43 to Strathmore Swords during their Kenya Basketball Federation Women's Premier League match played at Nyayo Gymnasium. Strathmore, ranked 5th, won the first quarter 11-7, but Stanbic fought back in the second period with the quarter ending 11-all. Strathmore won the last 2 periods 16-14 and 17-11 to bag their 6th win. Jacqueline Atieno top scored for Strathmore Swords with 11 points as Margaret Nerea contributed 7 more points for the victors. Stanbic, ranked 3rd in the league after an impressive run on their debut top-flight season, will be seeking to bounce back when they face USIU Flames in their next fixture.
It was a tough game, a competitive one. They were very competitive. Mostly the runs, they beat us on runs, but we have a lot to improve on, which we are going to do. And coming the next second leg, when we meet them, we will be much better. Being our first time in the Premier League as Stanbic, we've done much better. We are doing well, actually, compared to how we thought we would. So yes, it's a win for us, because each day we get better, each day we thrive, each day we meet more competitive people, and we will get there.
Joyce Otiende top scored for Stanbic with 7 points as Frida Kandie added 4 points.
Well, and that story by Bernard Okumo brings us to the end of the bulletin this morning. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to start your day with us here on Good Morning Kenya. We take a short break, but coming up next is Victor Lowe with